Well, when you hear the word geek, you may have visions of a pasty white nerdy guy who lives in his mom's basement. Not me, but our next guests say that's not even close to reality.
According to them, geeks come in all shapes and sizes from all walks of life, and these days, geeks are cooler than ever.
That's
she
right.
doesn't look like a geek to me.
No, she doesn't. She looks fun. Joining us to chat about why geek is so chic are Stephanie and Sam, along with some model geeks who are gearing up to strut their stuff on the Sac & Co. runway. This is the best that I can do. You're probably saying without the glasses you were geeky already.
So
Yeah, basically.
How do you know if someone's a geek?
Well, I think it's defined a lot by their interests. Geeks are the ones that like science fiction, fantasy, computers, technology. They just have a real passion for those things, and they just want to share those things.
Plus, it's usually easy to tell because somebody else will tell you.
Oh, so how did you
You're a
guys?
geek.
When did you first realize you were a geek?
When somebody else told me. I thought it was perfectly normal to, grow up watching, Star Trek and Doctor Who and Star Wars and any other show you could name, and then people told me there was something not quite normal about that. So.
Well, there are so many people that do watch those shows. That means there are a lot more geeks out there than maybe we realize.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think part of it is just that there's this idea that, once you like something in that genre, it automatically gets labeled as geek, as opposed to if you like soccer, you're not automatically a jock.
Yeah, well, I knew I was a geek, though, in elementary school. In 6th grade, I fell in love with Kirk and Spock and Luke Skywalker. I knew I was a geek.
You knew early on.
Yeah, some people take a little later to figure it out. But yeah, just that passion for these things that not sports, maybe more like TV shows and movies and technology.
So how did your parents react when you came out of the geek closet? Were they supportive?
My parents gave me Barbies when I was a kid. They wanted
they were
me to
still hoping.
Yeah, they wanted me to be in a sorority. They wanted me to do all that.
Oh my God.
No, I wanted the Legos. I wanted the Star Wars action figures. So
Okay, that's awesome.
took a while.
Good
So
for you.
Is being a geek here in Sacramento different than being a geek in another city?
Well, in Sacramento, there's a really big geek community. I have a website, sacramentogeeks.com, and if you look in there, there's a whole lot of geek clubs, sci-fi, fantasy clubs, gaming clubs. People in Sacramento like being a geek. They like being social. They like getting to know other geeks. I think in a lot of other cities, LA, you more want to be hip. You want to be on movies, but geeks feel very comfortable here. Maybe it's because of the state jobs, a lot of the IT jobs.
There you go.
We
Yes.
attract geeks. Wait, now are all geeks the same?
Oh, no.
No.
It's-
Is there a geek
very
hierarchy?
Yeah, and that's kind of a joke in the geek community. Is like, oh yeah, well, if you're a published sci-fi writer, you're better than maybe just someone who writes, erotic furry fan fiction. This whole like
Oh
this
my
kind of
gosh.
just chart.
You're
you
a
look
cooler
for online.
geek than the other geeks.
But there's definitely a wide variety. I mean, various walks of life. You'll see our fashion show.
Hot geek trends. I just have to point out pirates. You know who is so into pirates? Jody
Moreno. She's on our staff here. Jody's a geek.
Where is that geek, Jody?
Jody.
We love her. Okay, now we've got some other. What kind of geek is she?
Well,
she's beautiful.
She kind of represents like the type of person that might go to a Renaissance fair and or wear costumes at that kind of thing.
Cosplay and other sort of
costume play.
Nice.
Yeah. So just
Okay, and this isn't something to wear to work.
No.
And all our models today.
Oh, she's saying yes.
Like I wear this to work all the time.
All our models today, none of them are the clothes that they'll wear every day. These are worn at special events, Renaissance fairs, concerts,
Parties.
Conventions, parties. Yeah.
Conventions,
So
especially
we have our
this
Star
one
Trek
now.
uniforms at conventions.
I
yes.
like this one.
Oh yeah. How many times have you worn this? Lots.
How many times have you
Melissa,
worn the costume?
Is that
Several times a year, yes.
Several times a year. Okay, so you get
It's
a lot
fun.
of use out of that geek wear.
Very fun.
And the next one, I'd like to know where she wears this. This is a hot
This is
geek
Kiki.
outfit.
Kiki is with Warp 11, a local Star Trek rock band, the coolest band
Wow.
ever. So she is on stage dancing, singing, and she has quite the collection of vinyl outfits, but they're geeky vinyl outfits. They're amazing. Alien vinyl outfits.
It's actually not vinyl, it's latex.
Oh, latex.
Oh,
okay.
My bad, my
Listen,
bad.
ladies, get it?
She is the entertainer.
Get it right. Actually, we'd like to take the mask off. This is our boss, Margaret Moore.
Oh,
A lot of you hear us talk about her,
Nice.
but
now,
there she is.
why are all of these geeks women? Aren't there men
Yeah,
geeks?
we're men geeks.
Well, there's plenty, but the girl geeks are the ones that are like to socialize and get to know
They're
each
the
other
fun
and talk.
geeks.
They're fun geeks. And
Okay.
So they're the ones in these groups that we hang out with.
Stephanie and Sam, take a look at Joe right over here. Would he be a geek?
Joe likes Star Trek, right?
Joe,
And latex.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
And latex.
Star Wars.
Okay, you're an honorary.
he's rocking the Izod, you know.
Yeah.
I got that impression.
So how does being a geek affect your social life? Geeks are pretty in right now,
Yeah.
right?
I think it actually helps.
Yes, definitely.
I'm not a very outgoing person, and yet I have, a ton of friends that I made solely through sci-fi groups, which is
Exactly.
how we in fact met, was through the Firefly fan group.
Yeah.
And then I started my own Doctor Who group, and she
I
has
run
her
sci-fi
own, a couple
and-
groups actually.
Yeah, I mean, because of these groups, we have things to do every weekend. Every weekend is, we're watching movies, going to conventions, going to local events, watching
Can we
TV
be
together.
honorary geeks?
I know. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
be a geek.
Yeah, well,
Maybe we are, and nobody's told us yet.
Well, like you said, SacramentoGeeks.com. There's a list of all the
There's
clubs,
all the
and then you can
info.
find all the events.
All right, thank you,
Awesome.
ladies, so much for coming on the show. Geeky Chic.
And our beautiful models.
Yes.
Uh-oh, look out. Look out for her.
Okay,
Oh,
yes.
and Melissa, I also want to point out she is one of our leaders.